Hello there. My name is Mai. Today, we would be discussing about ASEAN and its literature, but with a particular focus on the ASEAN member state, Vietnam, and in one of the renowned and well-loved masterpieces in the country, Luc Van Tien. Traditionally, the Vietnamese highly values its literary arts, especially poetry. Among the types of poetry, Chet Ho, also known as verse narrative, holds a prominent place in the Vietnamese literature. It is composed by scholars who trained under the Confucian tradition and wrote them in Chuo Nam, or the way of writing the Vietnamese language, using modified Chinese characters. Back then, only the educated and scholarly elite could read Chuo Nam, but because the verse narratives were written with mnemonic aids, such as syntactic parallelism and rhyme, they were easy to memorize. As a result, it became part of the oral folk tradition and were well known and well loved by common people. Let us now dive deeper into the tale of Luc Van Tien. It was written by Nguyen in the late 1850s. He was born in the southern province of Sa Dinh, which is known today as the city of Ho Chi Minh. He was a diligent student who passed regional examination in 1843. When he was about to take the metropolitan examinations at the age of 25, he heard about his mother's passing. So he abandoned his examinations and rushed home to mourn his mother's death. On his way home, he contracted an eye infection. As he tired himself from weeping and from the arduous journey, he fell sick and eventually became blind. In Sa Dinh, he lived and established a village school where he taught students, and became a medical practitioner. Since he was blind, it has been said that Nguyen did not really write his masterpiece. Instead, according to accounts, he usually chanted the tale of Luc Van Tien to his listening students who then copied it down for him. But did you know that the tale of Luc Van Tien is said to have thousands of verses? Because it has been printed several times, there have been many different texts, sometimes adding or reducing hundreds of verses. According to the current commonly used version, the story has 2,082 verses, that has been structured according to the chapter and period. The story was set in the mythical country of Sa that is understood to be a state in ancient China. In it lives Luc Van Tien, who is a promising student that is well versed in the fields of Confucian ethics and military strategy. One day, the emperor summoned the talented men to sit for an examination at the capital. Heeding to this call, Luc Van Tien says goodbye to his teacher at the Confucian school and sets off for the capital to take the examination. On his way, he runs across some bandits who wishes harm to the people inside the palanquin. Without hesitation, Luc Van Tien stopped to help out even though he knew that he was outnumbered by the bandits. He fought the bandits and successfully defeated them. Later did he realized that rescued a beautiful lady named Nguyen. Nguyen was deeply moved for Luc Van Tien's bravery. As a sign of her gratitude, Nguyen offered him with a silver hairpin, but Luc Van Tien refused. Instead, Nguyen presents him with a poem, to which Luc Van Tien responds by giving her one of his poems. Then, they parted ways. Carrying her love for Luc Van Tien, Nguyen returns to Ho Chi, where her father is a prefect. She draws a portrait of Luc Van Tien to remember him. Meanwhile, Luc Van Tien continues on to the examination site. On his way, he stops by the home of Vo Dal Wan, to whom his parents have arranged a marriage for him. After spending some time, Vo Dal Wan's parents were pleased with the idea of their daughter marrying a young talented scholar. Then, Luc Van Tien leaves to continue his journey. On his way, he meets and befriends a soldier, Hon Ming. As he continues on, he then meets his 3 fellow examination candidates. Unfortunately, he learns about his mother's passing, so he decided to immediately rush home. On his journey back home, he becomes sick and weak from weeping that he eventually becomes blind. Wandering blind and unprotected along the countryside, Luc Van Tien becomes an easy victim for deceitful individuals who tricked him out of his money. His misfortunes continue on as his fellow examination candidate, who was jealous of his superior talent, pushed Luc Van Tien into a river. but a river dragon saves him from drowning. A fisherman's family also helped him out. Learning Luc Van Tien's fate, Vo Dal Wen's father despised him. Worse, Vo Dal Wen had Luc Van Tien thrown into a cave. However, a fairy leads Luc Van Tien out of the cave, and a woodcutter helps him out. Meanwhile, Qiu Wenga learns about Luc Van Tien's death due to sickness. Devastated, she vows to remain chaste and loyal forever in his memory. But it was not easy to keep her vow. Suitors line up for her hand, only to be rejected. But one gets angry and dares to seek revenge. So he goes to the king of Sa to make a proposal. He offers Qiu Wenga as a wife to the king of Phia, whose kingdom has been harassing Sa. The king accepts the proposal and sends Qiu Wenga to Phia. Torn between her faithfulness to Luc Van Tien and her loyalty to her king, Qiu Wenga attempts suicide by jumping off the ship. But the goddess of mercy saves her and takes her into a garden of flowers. She befriends the garden's caretaker, but when the caretaker's son starts making advances, Qiu Wenga immediately leaves. She takes refuge in an old woman's house. 6 years have passed, and this story goes back to Luc Van Tien. He dreams of a fairy giving him a medicine to cure his blindness. When he wakes up, his sight is restored. He reviews his lessons, journeys for his exams, and aces it with the highest rank. The king of Sa is pleased with Luc Van Tien that he requested him to lead an expedition to Okwa to stop its harassment to the kingdom of Sa. Luc Van Tien sets off to Okwa to carry out the king's request. The battle takes place, and Luc Van Tien successfully defeats the Okwa forces. After the battle, Luc Van Tien encounters the house where Qiu Wenga stays. Alas! It was a joyful reunion that leads to their marriage. The story ends with the king of Sa being very pleased with Luc Van Tien's assistance in the expedition, that he passed on his throne to Luc Van Tien. Indeed, the tale reflects the virtues of Confucian morality and qualities of the Vietnamese people. Luc Van Tien and Qiu Wenga are not complex characters, yet the lessons from their characters resonate well. Luc Van Tien represents filial piety and loyalty, while Qiu Wenga represents chastity. The story is aligned with the Confucian teaching of 3 bonds, which includes king and subject, father and his son or daughter, and husband and wife. It also includes the 5 virtues, namely, human-heartedness, righteousness, propriety, knowledge, and sincerity. The tale emphasizes that those who have compassion and know how to do righteous deeds will win, while the wicked and inhumane will be defeated. Similar to its people, Vietnamese places a high value on their family and community. Each has a duty to observe moderation and to carry themselves with dignity. Respect is the guiding principle of relationships, and education is well valued. Drawing a parallel between the tale and the Vietnamese plight during the 18th century French colonization. The Confucian teaching on 3 bonds was put to test when the Vietnamese started to question their then Emperor Tu Duc, whose conservatism and isolation policies and Christian oppression foreshadowed the French conquest of Vietnam. When the French came in, making moral and political decisions even became harder. As history books narrate, those years were not easy for the Vietnamese as the country tremendously suffered from its colonizers. Qiu Wenga also faced the dilemma on one of the 3 bonds. Although she opted to commit suicide, the Vietnamese chose to fight for their independence. Despite Emperor Tu Duc's difficulty in making moral and political decisions, the king of Sa carried out orders for the greater good of many. Overall, the tale of Luc Van Tien can be regarded as an autobiographical work to a certain extent. It is an expression of the poet's unfulfilled dreams, a wishful autobiography as some may say. Winding Xu succeeded in upholding virtue and human dignity. Undoubtedly, its charm rests on its characters' honest and thoughtless way of displaying and expressing their virtues. Instinctively and admirably, they know what is right and what is wrong, and does not hesitate in making moral and political decisions even though it might entail great sacrifices. Hope you had fun in today's lesson. Again, this is my signing off. Tabiat.